Hey everybody, welcome back to the comment section. This is not about football, this is about life. PokerGuy, why'd you send flowers to my house, dude?
All right, so it's Friday before the Christmas weekend. I think Christmas Eve was that Monday. So it's like, at this point, it's Friday. I'm off work. I'm back at home. It's 4:30 Pacific Standard Time, okay? Most stores, they close at like 5 Pacific Standard Time. And this is the Friday before Christmas, okay? So I hear a knock on my door. My dog, she goes fucking ballistic. Me, I'm enraged because I'm in the middle of a Call of Duty match of slaying noobs. Okay, I'm slaying noobs at this point.
Shut up! You screaming at your dog.
I'll be out soon. I'm gonna be out soon. I was pissed. I wasn't loving it. So I think I died, and I was mad at that point. And I run to the package. Or I'm sorry, I run to the door and I get this package. I open the door. There's a fucking package on my feet. I lift it up, I slam the door shut, and I'm enraged at this point. I sit down, and I see that there's no sender. I'm like, who sent me this thing? I'm in a hurry, and I see it's from Oregon. You are the only person that I know from Oregon, okay? The only person. So immediately, I'm like, all right, he sent me like a dildo or like a big bucket of shit. So I open it, okay? I look at it, it says Oregon, and then I immediately toss like the outer box. And you know, boxes nowadays, they've got like 4 or 5 layers. They're like fucking onions, right?
Babushka dolls.
Babushka dolls. They're little babushkas, all right? So then I carry the contents to my PC battle station. I'm mostly I'm paying attention to the computer, but on my right, I have this like table. And so I'm sitting there, I leave this shit there. I'm kind of not really paying attention. And I start opening it piece by piece. I'm going through the babushkas. And then I see that it's this beautiful arrangement of like dainty boxes of fresh, chili, delicious Oregon pears, some sweet apples, and some caramel popcorn and some dark chocolate. I mean, dude, there's like snow landscape artwork all over the package, and there's a fucking bow, and it says "Happy Holidays."
That sounds delicious and thoughtful.
It's dope. It's so thoughtful, and I'm like, dude. This said Happy Holidays. It said my name, PG98. Dude, I kid you not, I almost started crying. I was like, no. I was like, dude.
Don't to me like this. It's such a long time.
I was like, I know for a fact my parents don't love me that much. A. B. Exhibit B. I was like, no heterosexual, cisgendered male has ever in my life sent me such a sweet package. No joke, dude. There's like, as I'm opening this, there's Christmas music in my head. Okay, I hear Alvin and the Chipmunks singing fucking Jingle Bells and shit. Okay, so at this point, I'm like, it's 4:50 Pacific Standard Time. I text you, right? And you remember this text? I said, "Send me your address." Your response was very quick, and it said, "Hey man, here's my address. Also, don't send me 20 pounds of gorilla shit."
Yeah, don't send me. I don't like you having my address.
Yeah.
I
have it now, bitch. I have it now,
bitch.
So anyways,
I got your. I got yours somewhere.
So I have.
My wife's got yours.
Well, don't be sending her. Don't tell her to send me anything. Anyways, you can buy gorilla shit online, and that's not what I sent it. Anyways, I call a florist in your area because now I got your address. I go on Google. I look for a florist. There's a florist like right down the road. I call in. I talk into the woman, and I said, look. I am a cisgendered, ignorant, heterosexual male. I need to get this motherfucker the sickest yet budget-friendly bouquet of flowers that you got. Give me one.
Emphasis on budget-friendly.
Emphasis on budget-friendly. All right, it's gotta be dope though.
I mean, actually, I'll even take some sick flowers, like the bad ones you're about to throw away. You put those in there.
It's like
emphasis on budget-friendly.
Like, you ever seen, like, a tap-out shirt? I want that version of flowers. Like, a sick tap-out shirt version of flowers. Anyway, so she knows exactly what I'm talking about. I mean, she asked me, she says, do they have kids? And I'm like, no, but they have dogs. And she says, dude, I'm going to throw in some dog treats for your dogs. And then my girl at the time, she walks by and she says, wow, that's, like, the nicest thing that you've ever gotten from another heterosexual cisgendered male. That's also like the nicest thing you've ever reciprocated with. It's probably even nicer than anything you've ever done for me. And I'm thinking, at this point, I'm like, fuck you. Anyways, she's not wrong. I'm thinking this Bobby Fever guy, he's got life figured out. He gets it. Life is more than
He knows.
Gets it, man.
He's found the meaning of Christmas. He's found the meaning of Christmas. He's got Christmas in his heart.
He
But I've got a true friend out there who cares about me in the holidays.
I actually have a real friend that he understands life is more important and it's more meaningful than just fat shaming. It's about stupid shit like this. So then I get back to gaming, right? I'm like 4 rounds into a new Call of Duty expression session. And I'm like, wait a second. This isn't adding up. This doesn't make any sense. I start digging through the trash, okay, and there's a clue. And then the sender is ABC. It said ABC, and I'm like, ABC? Wait a second. Don't I work for a company, ABC? Then they started putting the pieces together, and I'm like, fucking A. You didn't send me shit.
I didn't send you anything.
You didn't send me anything. My company sent me something. You cared just as little about me as little as I cared about you. But at this point, the flower place is closed. I already gave them my fucking... I already paid for it. The lady probably already cut them up, and they're already wrapped and ready to go, like outside on the refrigerated, like whatever line. It's like 7 Pacific Standard Time. It's like the weekend, pretty much. It's too late to return them. So like, I was so pissed for like the rest of the day. I was fucking enraged.
I can't believe I wasted my money on this asshole.
I was like, are you fucking kidding me? This guy is fucking asshole. And then long story short, dude, you owe me some cash, brother. I'm going to forward that receipt to you.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and send it. Did your wife enjoy the flowers? Yeah, good. Tell her they were from you. All right? Tell her they were from you.
Exactly.
To have delivered while I wasn't even in town. Hey, baby, I had these delivered for you when I knew we were going to be out of town for the past 4 months.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Our dog sitter really thought they were beautiful, though. He I thought they were wonderful.
I was enraged, dude. But C'est la vie. I thought that was a funny one. And now we have your address, so I can't confirm or deny that you will or will not get a bunch of gorilla shit down the road. But, you know.
It is somewhat reasonable. It's not reasonable for you to assume that I would send you something like that. But it is actually very reasonable of you to assume that my wife would send something like that on our family's behalf.
Really?
Yeah. Well, now I feel bad because she does send out gifts to people. To certain people.
Between you and me, that's why I really sent it for your wife because I'm like...
Yeah, absolutely.
That's really what I sent it for. I sent it for your wife. The flowers weren't for you. They're for your wife and your dogs. And I understand that girls love that stuff. And I'm like, this is just going to be the nicest gesture I've ever done for anybody. Anybody. But it was all for naught. It was meaningless. So next year I'm not getting you shit.
And then you got your woman getting mad at you on top of it for sending.
Oh yeah, she was pissed. She was like, "The fuck?" She was like, "Let's go to." Meanwhile, I'm like, "Nah, I don't want to go to dinner, babe. I don't want to spend money."
Babe,
I don't want to spend money, babe. I don't want to spend money. Okay.
Babe, did you see how much
Let's just get Chinese
flowers? Let's get Chinese. When did you ever get me a pear basket? That's what it always turns into. It's like, of course I never got you any flowers. You never got me a sweet basket with Oregon pears in it. Okay, babe? Of course I never did.
Dude, they were so fresh. You have no idea. Like, they were fresh and cold. And, like, the apples, I ate them, like, a couple days later, and they were, like, icy, juicy. Oh, my God. I mean... It was fantastic. Oh, it was great. It was great. So that's why I sent you flowers, man. And that's why I sent you flowers, and I'm never doing that again.
You're never doing that again. That was delightful. Apparently, much more delightful than the new Will Ferrell movie. All right. I don't keep up with cinema too much, but apparently this thing is a stinker. Apparently, it's a stinker to avoid, and people are walking out on this. And the question's got to be asked: is Will Ferrell? Has he gone Harvey Dent on us? Has he become the monster that we never wanted to see him become? Because is he just not fun anymore? It pains me to say that. It's like watching Brady not be able to throw a football, but to watch Will Ferrell to not be able to make people laugh, it's a bummer because he used to be one of the best.
The market has changed, obviously, like everything that with the high tide comes the low tide, and this is the low tide. Did you see that Kevin Hart movie with him where he's like the rich like hedge fund manager guy? Did you see that one? And Kevin Hart's like the quirky and fun janitor or something.
I don't think so. I don't think that was something I got into. It sounds bad enough for me to remember if I did.
I saw it and it was difficult for me to watch, but I'm a huge Will Ferrell fan, so I still enjoyed it. But I can
Okay.
see how it wasn't his best work, but a lot of people didn't like Anchorman 2. I loved
Oh,
Anchorman 2.
Anchorman 2 was a travesty. It
You didn't
was a
like it. I
shame. It
enjoyed
was
it.
a
I enjoyed
pox
it.
to all involved with it.
I enjoyed
It
it.
was
Thought it
very
was too
poor.
much, but I enjoyed it. But
Super
again, I'm not
Troopers
gonna. I didn't see Super Troopers 2. I did not see that.
was
Did
good.
not see that. It
It was
was.
good.
Okay.
Yes. So, actually, big fan of that one. That was a good one. I haven't watched it twice, but I will one day. I will watch it
Yeah.
again. But
Yeah, I'll have to watch both of those. But until I actually go and physically watch this movie, and you're referring to the new Sherlock Holmes movie that came out, like
yes, with John
him
C.
and
Riley.
right, and I love that duo. Goddamn, do I love Step Brothers, and
Yeah.
goddamn, do I love Talladega Nights. I love both of those movies. So until I make my own judgment, I'm going to assume that movie is funny, and I'm going to assume that the people that don't like this movie are just assholes that don't have a sense of humor because who what's funny nowadays, dude? There's no comedies aren't funny anymore. You know what I mean? They don't have them anymore. What was
That
the last
doesn't. I
big
mean,
comedy? You know?
there aren't big comedies. There's Kevin Hart movies and there's superhero movies. That's what you fucking get.
Yeah.
Those are the two movies you can go see. I guarantee at any point in time, you walk into a theater, you can see a Kevin Hart movie or a superhero movie. Or you may get lucky, you could see a Kevin Hart movie with a superhero, and he might be with The Rock or somebody like that. Playing the, guy from high school or something. There's actually a decent movie that movie he was in with The Rock.
It reminds me of that South Park episode when they're coming up with ideas for movies, and it's like Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
He's like
Adam
he's in
Sandler
love
is
with
a skateboard.
No, he's like Adam Sandler's like in love with like a golden retriever or something, and then they're like, "Oh, we're gonna call it Puppy Love. That's a great movie." And it's everybody thought it was a good idea. The movie executives, they thought it was a good idea.
So that's an interesting segue into. So I haven't talked about this with you, but I recorded a few of these My Strange Addiction shows. Have you seen that? Have you heard about that? It's on TLC.
I've seen a couple. There's a couple that stick in my brain. They're all very bizarre. How about you give us a little bit of insight as to what that show is? Because it's not your average My 600-Pound Life show.
Yeah, which is not. I mean, that's my food addiction is that one. That's the same addiction for all those people. But for this one, it's a different addiction for everybody. And they're all fucking weird. So the episode that I watched, there's a whole bunch of these things where people can't quit sniffing Pine Sol, or they're fucking the muffler of their car because they love their car so much.
I've seen that one. Yeah.
That one's the penultimate. That's the ultimate. One of those.
I got a good one for you.
There's all sorts of them. And I wanted to talk a little bit about one that I saw recently, and it was a dual episode. I did not watch. The other thing with that is some of them are just really weird, and depending what pushes your buttons one way or another, one segment may be worth watching, the other one may not. I wish they played them both straight. They intercut everything, editing, so you get, in this case, 6 months of girl who dresses up like a pony versus, 6 minutes, and then like commercial break, and then like 6 minutes of the girl who can't quit drinking fucking paint. Okay. Get that girl who was the other part of the episode. They go back and forth. So the one that I was interested in was of course the pony can. Right? So we're all about broadening ourselves and being more accepting of people that have different identities. And I don't know what kind of phobia this is. It's in the xenophobic. You're xenophobic if you don't approve of everything that this girl does. So her name is Nicole. And like I said, she was in a dual episode with somebody that just drank paint. So I haven't seen a ton of these things, but the one with the person that drinks paint, it's, she carried around a little sort of shot glasses of paint or nail polish or whatever the fuck it was. and then would just chug it. I just love it. They estimated she drank about a gallon of paint per year. And then, of course, she goes into the... Of course, she gets... Yeah.
Fuck. Your kidneys now just take a shit after that.
Yeah. You know? So of course, she goes in the doctor. She's got kidney problems, right? She had to get on the same list as Diane Ribicki. Hopefully, she doesn't fucking miss her chance of good kidneys for a Property Brothers cruise. But she's going to need to end up on that same list. Hey, Diane, what list you on? Oh, yeah, I'm on the list too. It's a good list. Good luck.
God
good luck
damn,
to you
what is
too.
wrong with people, man?
So she's drinking paint. And then, of course, she goes to the doctor, and the doctor says, you're gonna die if you keep drinking paint. You're a 43-year-old woman. Can you quit drinking paint, please? You need to do that.
You're drinking like a gallon of like paint thinner. You drink a little bit when you're pregnant, your kid ends up having like 3 eyeballs. You know what I mean? Like, stop drinking.
You're gonna be dead, and then who is little Flipper gonna have to look after her?
Right. I got something for you. I just I sent you something in the Zencastr chat. Now you were talking about my
for Zencastr.
For Zencastr, promo code PG98 for all your Zencastr Groupon coupons. But go to the Zencastr chat. I just sent you something.
Okay.
And this is the one on My Strange Addiction
yeah. Oh, this is a My Strange Addiction?
This is a My Strange Addiction, yes.
Holy Lord.
Oh, no. Actually, you know what? I'm sorry.
This is a Hoarders
episode. Yeah, this is a Hoarders episode.
So that's a cross. That's a cross pollination.
It's the same thing. It's very similar.
I want to talk about Nicole, though. We can talk about that after.
Just leave that on the background when you're ready.
Leave that on the back burner there. We'll tease that a little bit. You won't believe what this lady is storing in her house.
Tune in next time for the finality. Right.
So, but anyhow, let's just check Nicole. She is into. She calls it pony play. All right, so she dresses up.
Send me a Zencastr link so I can look at this woman while you're describing her. Or what should I Google? How about that? What should I Google?
Pony play, Google pony play my strange addiction.
It's literally the first thing when I type it.
Okay, yeah, yeah. And then Google that right there. So if you're at home, pause the podcast, Google pony play my strange addiction, and there's a whole bunch of fucking videos of this lady.
What the fuck?
I don't know if she identifies as a male or female pony. Is a pony by nature a female?
There's this guy who looks like a fucking librarian, but he's wearing like spandex, and I'm pretty sure there's like a tail shoved up his asshole, and that's his like tail, you know?
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing about what's going on with this girl that is in any way normal. So for those of you that are not watching, we'll guide you along at home. So anyhow, Nicole. So she's got that old librarian dude fucking just walking around, and she's not a furry. I don't want people to get confused with her being a furry. She's not somebody walking around in the hallway of a Marriott in some fucking poofy, like little pony costume. I thought that might be what it is. My Little Pony, you got those people called baronis out there. They're a bunch of fucking weirdos. You know what a baroni is, Poker Guy?
I didn't know what it was, and then I met one. Actually,
you met an actual brony.
I actually met a brony.
That's
in my line of work. I actually met one, and I was, I don't want to give too much away, but he literally was describing ponies to me, and he was, cupcake and sugar glider and fucking and cream, and he was dead serious about these toy ponies, and it was fucking strange. It was weird. I felt uncomfortable.
He's in an internet chat room hating on women somewhere right now.
Because they don't understand him. You know what I mean? It's like
they only like abusive men is right. Why they don't love him. That's why he's
intellectual. He's too intellectual. He's too progressive. Because he dresses up on Fridays in latex and puts things up his ass.
Yeah. And now he's getting into some shit on Sunday that you don't really want to talk about. But anyhow, Nichole here. So she's not a furry. But she literally wants to live the life of a horse. So she gets into pens with horses and crawls around in the horse. She's got access. This is a sort of addiction. You know that Nichole is like born of money, at least some type of money, because she has access to horses where she can act like a fucking horse. So she just wants to act like a horse. And she's super unapologetic about it until her mom in the episode, like her mom makes her go see a fucking shrink. And at the end of it, she says, oh man, the shrink actually had some things that made me think. But I tell you what, now the shrink did, or the producers did, is they didn't ask the tough question. And what is the one question that you have about Nichole?
Me?
What is the one question you got about this chick? Like, if you could ask her one question and get an honest response, what would it be?
Like, are you a dyke?
Well, I mean, you're on the right track. I would be like,
let me ask, what do you identify as?
Have you ever
fucked
a horse or sucked a horse's dick? Because I guarantee you, there are people out there in the world that do that. Right?
Oh, dude. Of course, happens. Man. Mr. Hands, bro. You ever heard of Mr. Hands?
No.
You never heard of Mr. Hands?
No.
All right. This is, for any listeners that are under the age of 30, this is like prehistoric YouTube shit. This is dating me. Okay? Apparently, there's this guy, and what he was doing is every night, or not every night, but what he would do is he would record himself in his like stables, and what he would do is he would like get in front of a horse, and then the horse would mount him. And then like the horse would mount him, but the problem, it's not like you're coming in hard with like 6 inches of like lukewarm flaccid penis. You're coming in with like 25 inches of just steel of iron. Fuck, it's just literally like a steel baseball bat fucking you, right?
Mustang cock.
A fucking huge giant dick, and then regardless of his rhino, man, giraffe, whale, doesn't matter. This thing's huge. And there's actually a video, if you Google, it's called Mr. Hands, and he ended up getting...
I don't think I want to Google that.
Google it.
No, I'm not going to do that.
You don't have to.
I'm not
you don't
gonna
have
Google
to.
That. I'm not going to Google fucking some guy getting mounted by a horse.
He get mounted, and the problem here isn't so much that he got fucked by the horse. The problem is the next day he went to the hospital because he wasn't feeling good. And then he ended up dying like a week later because what ended up happening was the male steed, is that they call him? Steer? What ended up happening was the thing was like mega horny. So the horse had taken its horse Viagra, it's whatever, is goat weed or whatever.
It turned into a less consensual situation?
Yes, and then literally fucked the shit out of the guy to where it like squished his guts.
Oh, God.
And then he ended up going to a hospital and ended up dying. That's a true story. That's a true story, Mr. Hands. You don't need to see the video, but the lore is out there. Mr. Hands. And if you've seen it, I remember seeing it, and I was more... I felt bad for the guy. You know what I mean? I felt bad for the guy. It was almost like a scene in Alien, you know? Like where like the alien is it just kind of mounts you, you know? And then there's nothing you can do.
It gets on top of you and it's coming inside no matter what.
Right, and then you're throwing, then you're dying. You know, same thing happened, dude. Same thing happened to the guy.
Same thing happened to that guy. He just
fucking died.
Internal bleeding though.
All right, so anyway, this chick.
Do you think he's lying to the doctors? Or at what point does he start telling the truth? He's like, a horse fucked my ass. Like when he goes into the hospital. Do you think initially he just says, I tell you what, I was up on a ladder and I fell and I got something up my butt and it hurt me. Like at what point does he just say to somebody, it was a horse that fucked my ass?
I think your average proctologist is going to be able to just take one look at that and be like, bruh, like, were you fucking like a baseball bat? Like, what happened? Because your asshole.
I mean, I think if you're fucking horses, you're not showering that often. You're probably the sort of individual that's not. That's
probably a discriminatory statement right there. Just saying that because they fuck horses means they're unhygienic. That's kind of fucked up. If anything, they're probably more hygienic than you, Mr. B.F. Fever. but I don't know.
I don't know. I think that's a pretty accurate sort of thing to level at someone who's sucking a horse's dick.
He wasn't sucking it. He wasn't sucking it, dude. He was getting pounded by it.
I mean, who's to say he didn't fucking... If he's sitting there trying to get buck-fucked by some horses, who's to say he's not trying to suck him some fucking horse cock, too?
Look, I'm not an expert. I don't know what you do. Look, I'm going to tell you something, man. I hope you don't take this the wrong way, but this is some fucking white people shit, okay? You don't see my Latin brothers getting involved with horseplay and brony shit. Okay?
You just brought this out to bring...
This is white people shit.
The white man in his place.
This is white people shit,
buddy.
Right?
You're your people.
This is what you guys do.
Fuck horses. All right.
When you see an Esteban or somebody or Roberto getting involved in this shit, you let me know.
I'll let you know. So, and by the way, it was definitely a white chick, acting like a pony, and ostensibly,
I know. That's why I said
they had an interview with her aunt where she like came out about her, fucking horses, essentially pretending to be a horse.
Oh, so she was fucking the horse.
Well, they never said that, but I mean, I'm just saying, if there are people that fuck horses, ma'am, could you please step forward out of the lineup? Like, I'm gonna search your bags. Like, she's getting searched at security. It's not a random screening, because she's probably fucking horses.
Right. She's wearing the hijab. You know what I mean? Random security test. Random security check my ass. Dude.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We're just going to... What do we got? 1, 2, 3. Every fourth person, we're going to stop them at this point. Someone gets out of line. You know what? Up security measures every third person. Fuck that. Maximum security, every person. You, sir.
Every person. You, brother.
Every person for the next 1, 2, 3, 6 people. Everybody after that guy. You look pretty good.
You with the beard. You with the beard and the thing. Come over here for a second. Random security check.
Yeah, random security check. You, buddy. Hey, you know what? Get over here. Random security check.
Come here, buddy.
Get over here, buddy. Time to random.
I'm reading the comments here on this lady wearing latex and running around in circles in a horse pen. Somebody said 50 Shades of Nay. You know?
But she's an idiot. When she came out about her poniness to her aunt, it was the shame that you see in a Japanese person in the movie's eyes when their family's been disgraced, like that level of perfect poignant. You've brought shame upon our family. Look in the aunt's eyes, and then eventually she says, we're gonna love you for who you are, but we're gonna have to learn to deal with this. Okay.
Oh, man, people are so strange, man. I'm sitting here clicking through YouTube. There's one that says my girlfriend lives as a toddler. So It's like this chick, and she's got like a pacifier, and her boyfriend is reading to her like books. And she's like 24, but she acts like a toddler, I mean, and I'm just going to say this for the record. She's one of yours. You know what I mean?
One of mine, obviously. Gotta quit going through YouTube videos about weird people because there's too many of us. We're too weird and we have too many cameras. There's just too many cameras, too many white people out there to do us any good.
Well, did you get a chance to look at that link that I sent you about that the hoarders thing?
I did. It's horrifying. I haven't looked through it.
We'll talk about it next week.
We'll talk about it next time, but we're gonna tease the poop lady from Hoarders. This is oh god, oh god, she looks like one. If you were to hand me a piece of paper before I watch this and said draw what the poop lady's gonna look like, that's what it would look like. It would look like her.
Yeah. Good God. I'm just want to. She probably smells like everybody's taint after a couple rounds of ultimate frisbee.
You've not smelled anything that smells like that lady. I'm just saying you can't make any simile, any analogy to what that lady's house must smell like. Could you imagine if you're one of her neighbors?
Smells like shit.
Yeah, but the type of shit that you've never smelled before. Type of crazy shit you've never smelled before. But let's
dude,
get
that's
into
somebody's
it.
fucking mom, you know.
That's somebody's mom. That's somebody's mom. We're teasing
kid.
that. We're doing too much of a tease.
Tune in next week for the
week
poop lady.
as we preview the poop lady. I want to end off here. So you recently have gone on a Tinder date with somebody who doesn't.
Well, let me tell you about it. Let me tell you about the story. All right. So I gave you the flower story a little bit ago. I'll give you another one. All right. So me and Florida Grace, we ended up breaking up a couple days ago. You know, kind of a breakup. I won't really get into that because it's not about my personal shit. It's more about the funny things that happen to me after the fact. So I wake up at like 8. I have this date. Me and my girl, we broke up. I know I have this date with this Asian chick in a few hours.
Now you learned something though. By sending those flowers up to me. Now you know what to do.
Right. Now I got to buy flowers and I got to buy apples and pears and shit for people if you really want to win them over.
Get some of those for whatever woman you get. And then whenever you do send out a mistaken pair of flowers, you won't have such a big fucking
I won't be in this situation. I won't be in this situation.
Yeah.
So anyways,
back on Tinder.
I got this dog. All right, I deal with my dog. I call my haircut dude. I get my haircut, or at least what's left of it, and I race back home. I got some time to kill. I clear my head. I choke my chicken, and I just kind of chill out until 12:20. I got to get there at 1. I get there early because I'm totally bored.
Tinder lunch date.
Right. So this is a Tinder lunch date. Now, for any of you guys that don't know what Tinder is, Tinder's an app where you just meet people online pretty much. And you'd never want to meet somebody at night because they might be a murderer or a serial killer. So I usually go for middle of the afternoon, downtown area. So if I do get murdered, I can at least scream. Somebody can fucking help me. Anyways, I go to this Korean barbecue place that we settled on because she's Asian. And I'm being progressive. I'm not going to bring her to Texas Roadhouse. I'm going to bring her to fucking to an Asian place. You can
throw your fucking painted shells on the floor here, man. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You need as many of them as you want too. Just get them. Get those.
Keep eating the peanuts. Yeah, it's all good. Keep eating them.
I bring just a little fucking secret though. I bring a couple extra plastic Ziploc bags. I always get an extra bucket at the end. Fill them up, take them home, man.
What I do is I bring my coat. You see, my coat's got pockets. You see, and
I take pockets you can't see too. Pockets everywhere.
I got these pockets, and then when I get home, what I do is I empty the pockets out, and I got a lot of peanuts, if you know what I mean. So, anyways, I'm being progressive. I go to the Korean barbecue place because she's Asian, so of course she's gonna like Korean barbecue. So, if you ever go on a blind date, I don't know if you've ever been on a blind date, Bobby. You ever been on a blind date before?
Not a blind date. No, I did date a blind girl, though.
You did?
No.
Okay. I wish I had an interesting story. I gotta put my shit on pause, dude. I gotta hear this story. Anyway, so the servers, the people that work there, they can smell a blind date from a mile away. You know what I mean? Because the waiter's always like, okay, this dude's dressed better than your average regular white trash Florida fuckhead. He's got to be meeting somebody. Or this is a super mega casual date with somebody that they've known for a long time. But more than likely it's a Tinder date. And they were right on the money as a Tinder date. So they're looking at me funny, but I'm like, all right, I'm gonna get some privacy. So I get to the Korean spot and it's table on top of table. There's like zero privacy, all right? These Koreans, they're efficient. I should have went to a
They're not
Mexican
afraid
restaurant.
to pack it in.
Not at all. And I guess the joke here is, I should have gone to a Mexican spot. And it would have been like 6,000 square feet, 3 tables, plenty of privacy. But I made a mistake and go to.
I got some great Mexican food down in Arizona. I missed it.
Oh yeah,
your cousins in Arizona do it better than they do up here. I'll tell you that.
They do. But you guys have Chipotle. You guys love it. It's so funny. Now you know the difference between Chipotle and like authentic Mexican food.
Oh, I don't know.
So much better. Anyways,
so they both had their advantages. They're different food groups, but they're both good.
You just love Chipotle. Chipotle's okay. You just love Chipotle.
I love it.
So I'm sitting there, I'm watching the TV, awkward, and out pops this Asian lady. So I'm like, what the fuck, dude? You're like 45, dude.
Oh yeah.
So going through it, I'm like, God damn it. So like in the middle of I'm like, you're not 30, you're like 45. And she speaks like no fucking English, right? It's like zero English. But
there's
Bobby
some
Feeder,
guy sitting behind her. No, she's 40. She's 30. I know her.
30.
She's 30. Like,
she
oh,
30.
You're in on this. You're in on it.
She 30. She 30. But dude, I'm telling you, I had a fucking great time, man. There were these language and culture barrier things that had me laughing like on all my way home. I was just cracking up. Like in Tinder etiquette, like I guess the thing is you can't tell other people that you met this person online, right? You guys met at yoga or you met at the bowling alley. You keep that shit quiet because at the end of the day, there's a big taboo. You can't go around meeting people online. That's absurd. This is ridiculous. So this lady is asking me in broken English, loud as fuck, have you met other Asian women on Tinder? Like, mad loud, right? Like, she's talking mad loud. And I just said, I'm like, yo, there's zero privacy. It's like lunchtime. Hey, like, lady, fucking keep it down, all right? Keep it down. So she's asking me in broken English. The waitress is laughing. And because the waitress is looking at me, and, you know, because she's young, right? So she knows exactly what's going on. Yeah. She's not 45. She's like 20. So she knows what's happening. She's laughing. I'm laughing. And, the Asians are probably loud, but like at this point, I'm like, this chick has an accent and now I'm on a date with like Mulan's aunt at this point. You know, it's like, I'm cracking up, dude. She's asking me what my GPA was, what my interest rates are to my fucking loans. We even ended up talking about medical, dental, and vision insurance and how it differs in the U.S. and compared to China. Like, it was fucking hilarious, dude. Like, it was so ridiculous. It was the most goofiest fucking date I've ever been on. And all in all, it's killer time. But speaking about the food, I had the bibimbap. The bibimbap's, it's like egg and Korean meat. And, she was funny. I was funny. We were laughing. Everybody's fine. We're having a good time. We ended up hanging out for like 2 hours. It was kind of like interacting with somebody at the airport. It was fantastic. Uh-huh. So then it's time for the check, and it's awkward at any date. So at this point, I'm like confused here, right? I'm like, is this a date or more of an opportunity for her to practice her verbs? You know what I mean? Because like, I don't know, is she really interested in me?
Fee here?
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, yo, I'm teaching you how to like conjugate verbs here, lady. Like there should be a fucking.
It's almost like you were just somebody who they're like, your next step is to go on a Tinder date.
Right.
What's a Tinder date? Like, I don't know what a Tinder date is. Just go. I'll be watching from the bar.
What is Tinder? What is it? So anyways, I foot the bill. It was a delicious $40, so it was perfect. And we headed out. And delicious. So I walk her to her car, and I can tell that she had a good time. At this point, I'm like, all right, this 45-year-old woman, I can tell how she gets away that she's like 32, 33 because she's looking nice. She starts getting all giggly, right? And so, at this moment, if it was a different scenario, I'd be making a move here. But it's in the middle of the day. I don't want to, push my limits, overstep my boundaries. So this right here is the culture smash moment right here, okay?
Okay.
I go in for my patented Latino hug, but then she sticks out her right arm in, like, handshake mode. So I'm in, like, middle of, like, my left arm wraparound hug. So I can't stop that. So what I do is I wrap my left arm around her shoulder and then shake her right hand with my right hand, okay? Uh-huh. And then proceed to give her like a gangster drug dealer bro hug.
Like you just got drafted and she's Roger Goodell.
Exactly. Like I just got drafted to the Chiefs and I'm shaking people's hands. And then, it was fine. It was great. I went to my car. And then I just started cracking up. I couldn't stop laughing because I'm like, I had no idea what this chick was saying like 80% of the time. I had no idea what we were saying to each other. But goddamn, it was so fun. It was like so funny, and it was just one of those moments that I'm like, I have to like write this down or something, or else I'm gonna like forget about it. But yeah, that's the story of my Tinder date with like a 45-year-old Asian grandmother. It was
and then
awesome.
You never talked to her again, obviously.
No, I actually hit her. I sent her a message and said, hey, that was a good time. And then she responded in broken English, whatever. And then I think I just went home and took a nap. I haven't really pushed on. But that's what Tinder is, you get to meet people. Yeah. And then it's so nice because it's out of your circle of friends. Ghosting people is so efficient. It's not like you ghost somebody. And it's, I gotta fucking see I gotta see like Cheryl next week, dude. I gotta pretend that everything's okay. I can literally just hold my finger over her name and press delete, and then she's gone from my life. You know what I mean? It's awesome. It's fantastic.
Particularly, so you keep it to a period of time where you only communicate with these people through Tinder.
Right. So I don't want anybody knowing my personal phone number because I know this is the exception, not the rule, but there are a lot of crazy women out there. And so they're texting you in all hours of the night. I don't want to deal with that. So the thing about Tinder is you can just uninstall Tinder and then it's over. You know what I mean? But it's a lot of fun. It's almost like online shopping. I'm a big fan. I'm a big proponent. A lot of people hate on it, but it is super fun. And I'll keep you guys posted. If you guys enjoy those stories, let us know. I'll keep it up. I just have they're always so different. They're always interesting.
Yeah, keep it up. So that's good stuff. That's so far you have on Tinder, you have been reported to have left a woman and her child at the beach after pounding a few beers and then deciding that wasn't for you. And then having a very lovely evening with apparently a Chinese Dorothy Mantooth, getting her a nice seafood dinner, and then I guess not calling her again. So you Dorothy Mantooth her. Did you Dorothy Mantooth her?
I did. Nice. Well, it's not over. There's always a little bit of I hit her up after. I didn't completely not call her back, but I'll probably hit her up at some point. Like, hey, I'm gonna be. I'll be here if you want to come through. And that's the thing, though. It's like there's low pressure, So that's what kind of makes it fun. Because if she never gets back to me, what the fuck do I care? You're just some fucking lady, just some fucking person.
Just some lady I had
Tinder, dude.
A wonderful, delicious egg meal with, and an interesting story to tell. And I don't know if we were the two lovers that were meant to endure the rest of life's trials and tribulations together.
Yeah,
so that's okay.
Well, this is real life, dude. This isn't Harry Met Sally or You've Got Mail. This is real life. All right, you come across people, you spend time with them, and then you disappear, and you never see each other again. It's like that thing from Anchorman where he's like, I think I was in love once, and he's like, yeah, I made out with some chick in a Walmart bathroom for about 45 minutes, and then we parted ways, never to see each other ever again. And the guy's like, I don't know. I don't think that's love. I don't think that's love, dude. I don't think that's it, buddy.
I don't know. For at least half an hour, at least, that's probably love, though. But so let's go ahead. We got a couple other things to talk about. Which of these do you want to hit? So we got those cops tasing that guy. We got the mini Hannah Mountsy. We got that black dude getting his hair weaved / whatever, getting his toupee. And then we've got that chick who insists that so let's start here. There's some chick out there, so maybe you meet this girl on Tinder or whatever. She says, I broke up with my ex-girlfriend. Why'd you break up with them? Well, when we were having a kid together, he insisted on naming the kid the same name as his ex-girlfriend. So there's this chick on Reddit who came out and said, hey, my boyfriend, he's insisting that we name our kid whatever the name of this dude's ex-girlfriend, his little baby.
So my ex-girlfriend's name is Andrea, and then my new girlfriend's name is Beth, but I want to name my new daughter Andrea after her. That's
little baby up. Andrea.
That's fucked up.
Which is weird. It's like, why would you want to name your daughter after somebody that you just fucked?
There's literally like a zillion different names that you can use. You can use all kinds of different names. That's the last name I would. That's like the one name you shouldn't use.
That is a dude that lady is going to be writing message boards in less than 2 years about being a single mom and how fucking hard it is. Because that is a dude who is still in love with his ex and is going to fucking leave her. Like that chick could snap her fucking fingers and he would leave his entire family probably.
That's weird, man. That's weird. That's like I feel like that's a really big red flag. But I'm sure most of the advice on Reddit. That's where you found it on Reddit. I'm sure that
Yeah.
most of the advice is that's crazy. If you're trying to be mature about the situation, you can maybe talk through it and maybe there's a little bit of resolution. But fucking A, man, just download Tinder and find yourself some new dick, man. You deserve better dick than that. You know, you deserve a
dick that wants your name.
Yeah, exactly.
Dick that wants to name the baby
Wait, is
after
she pregnant already? Is she already pregnant?
No, she's already pregnant. And their daughter, and they got like the sonogram or whatever it is that determines how if it's a boy or a girl, and they know it's a girl. Oh, so they're fighting over the name because he's dead set on he's not even like considering other options. He's like, this is what I want it to be, and that's it's like a ride or die moment with him. Like if this was a chick, if this is a dude that wrote this, and that is his girl wanted it named after her ex-boyfriend, there's 100% chance that kid's coming out and it's not his kid, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Right. So that's what you just think during the thing is like, dude, that ain't his kid. She wants to name the baby after Chris because Chris is the dude that knocked her up, bro. She's fucking cheating on you, man. Are you that fucking stupid?
Exactly.
Right. But I mean, it's the same thing. It's
a little different. It's a little different, obviously, because it's man versus woman kind of thing. But yeah, I don't know. Find yourself a new dick, lady.
Yeah, just get on Tinder. There's some
get on Tinder,
dude.
baby.
There's some Ecuadorian dude that looks like an Asian guy. Looks like
I'm not Asian. I'm not Asian.
Looking forward towards fucking stranding you and your soon-to-be kid, whatever her name is, at the beach.
I will abandon your child at the beach, but I will show you a good time.
He will not call her by that whore's name either. He won't do that to you.
I would never do that. You know why, man? Because there's a couple things you don't do, and that's one of them. That's one of them. That's one of them. I feel like that really fucks with, and man or woman, that fucks with their head a little bit. You know what I mean? It's about being a gentleman, and that's one of those things you don't do. Speaking of me being a gentleman, I'll call this Asian lady back. I'll let her, I'll reach out to her a little bit. I'm not going to ghost her. But at the same time, I'm not going to man-tooth her. But still, you just got to be a gentleman about it. There's obviously no finality. Well, there is finality. There's no future with this guy. So just end it. You know what I mean? Get yourself some new dick. Prepare yourself. Start enrolling in that Obamacare because you're going to need it. And then, that's about it.
Out there. You've been
abandoned. You've been abandoned,
emotionally and soon
get on Tinder.
Physically. Get on Tinder, all right? There's
get on Tinder. I'll keep an eye out for you.
There's a lot of Mr. Deadmoss out there in the world, all right? So you can find a fucking.
You need yourself a Mr. Live Mouth. That's what you need.
Yeah, okay? Mr. Live Mouth, one that treats you good. So the other couple World Star videos that we saw. So there was this guy. He's a black guy. It's not a racist thing. That's just yeah, it's not racist. You're white. You're a white guy, black guy, whatever. But he's bald. He's got the Jordan, the clean shaven, what we all wish and hope LeBron would do. So he's been rocking that haircut for decades. Okay. And he did the thing that every bald guy dreams about / thinks about. And he actually went and got one of those fucking pasted to your head toupees that actually look really good as soon as the barber cuts them up.
Looks real.
I don't get it. Like, I get it. Like, that was actually way more impressive than the other one that I saw in the sense of, because this guy faded that shit up. Like, he
cut it.
He cut it, and you couldn't see, like, I don't know, man. It was impressive as to how he did that. It was a quality job. So the guy looked like he fucking had hair. But he went around and kind of introduced himself to a bunch of people that he knew. And people were just looking at him weird. And to a person, everyone was just, despite the fact that, like, it looked, like, good and decent, they were just all fucking laughing at him. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, because it is.
I don't care how it looks. It's fake, dude. It's fake as fuck.
Yeah. Because it really doesn't matter, dude, hair or no hair. If you are cool or a schmuck, hair doesn't change that. You know what I mean? And to top it all off, man, it's like, where do they get that hair from? You know what I mean? They're not making that in a lab. That's not strands of plastic that they're, stretching out in heat. Those are somebody's, pubes.
That's Locks of Love. It's Locks of Love donation.
Those look like pubes, man.
Maybe every time they do a Locks of Love donation, whenever they have, how you're supposed to, I don't have hair, so I don't fucking donate hair, people. All right? Like, you don't want Dorothy donating you that kidney when she's done with it. Right? You can't. She used secondhand hepatitis sprinkled kidney.
It's got hepatitis, too. You don't want that hepatitis.
Don't do that,
That's
girl.
what you don't want. You don't want the hepatitis.
Don't do that. So you don't want to do that. So I can't donate hair in the same way she can't donate that kidney. After it destroys her liver. But I do know a little bit about Locks of Love. And you got to have whatever, 18 inches or something, or a certain amount of hair. I wonder if they take that, if Locks of Love has 8 inches of hair, or 18 and they get like 28, if they just fucking cut the extra 8 off and then sell it to wig people to make fucking pube mattresses for fucking insecure guys' heads. I mean, that's like, dude.
It's like you made that from Borat's pubes. You know what I mean? Borat gave you like bags of pubis, and he turned that into like a weave that you glued onto somebody's head. I don't care what it looks like. At the end of the day, those are pubes. It's like that Jackass, man. Remember Jackass, the movie, where they had that guy, and there was a prank on a prank where the guy was thinking that he was gonna scare a taxi driver, but the taxi driver was in on it. So the guy that was supposed to be scaring the taxi driver, they were making him look like a terrorist, or what we see as a terrorist. So they were gluing hair to his face, but it wasn't like cosmetic grade like Hollywood hair. It was just pubes from all the co-stars.
Like the disguise from Team America, basically.
Yes, exactly. And it was so gross that somebody had crabs. It was like fucking crabs in the pubes. So this dude's getting like pubes glued to his head. So
it's like, dude, yo, did you see Bob? Yeah, he's got fucking pubes.
He's got pubes. He's got pubes on his head.
He's gonna glue him up there, he's gonna glue him up there for the next 2 weeks. And then what? And then he goes back to the guy, gets the fresh set of pubes. As a barber cut him up.
More pubes. He's gonna get
no one's the wiser. Everyone he meets thinks that he's got regular hair.
He's gonna get more pubes glued to his head. That's all it is, dude.
Fucking pubes.
That's all it is pubes. Come on.
Come on. Pubes. So let's finish up here with the non-pubes related story. This person is too young for puberty. So there's a young lady or young fella. I can't keep track of this stuff anymore. These days, I might have mispronounced. I might have mispronounced and or misgendered and or done a deadly combination of both. But I don't know what this person's name is. This is off of World Star Videos. So there's a 10-year-old child out there.
Okay, yeah.
That is, I guess, a RuPaul inspired cross-dresser. Is that correct? Am I saying that correctly?
Michael Strahan called him a drag kid. That's what Michael Strahan said.
Drag kid.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what. So apparently he is somewhat famous. Famous enough to be on, what is that? Good Morning America with Michael Strahan.
It's Good Morning America. Yeah.
Good Morning America.
Good Morning America. Free plug
for you guys out there. And so he's famous enough to be on that show, which is several levels of famous above where we are currently at. So we are not as famous as the 10-year-old drag king. Hopefully we are, I don't know, a lot of other things that person is not. But Michael Strahan was fucking speechless. He had no words coming out from that giant gap between his teeth. He couldn't think of anything to push through that space in his face. And I've got to think that there's too much I don't want to say that people are like encouraging this, that they're not encouraging it, but
they are.
I'm glad I can't speak to anyone's kids because I don't have kids, but I'm glad that I never had to live the trials and tribulations of being a 10-year-old drag king or queen. What is he? Drag kid?
Drag kid.
Okay, drag whatever. Drag kid. Okay, drag youth. Drag youngster.
Dragzer. He's a dragzer.
Zer. It's Zer. Sir? Did you sir?
Sir!
Excuse me. I am a lady. What'd you say, sir? I said I am a lady. I said I'm a lady.
Oh my god, I'm watching the video right now.
Strong and independent. Very strong.
I'm a strong and independent masculine woman, okay? Very strong. I got hairy knuckles.
Heavy emphasis on strength. If you're gonna play with me on Dota, I will be the tank. I will be.
Lots of women have hairy knuckles. Lots of women have hairy knuckles. Okay.
My grandma had them. My grandpa. Everybody's grandpa's got hairy knuckles. I don't know why. That's funny. That's true.
All right, so we got this little 11-year-old trailblazing drag kid, and it's just strange. They're parading him around like he's this thing, but at what point is this not child abuse? You know what I
mean? Many points before it hit our eyeballs. Like many different points before this. I gotta think that I don't know. Some people would say that no. I would say like yes, and probably at intervals long preceding the taping of that broadcast.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't care. Like, here's the thing. I don't care as long they can let him dress up in anything that they want to. Anything that they want to. Just don't let him fucking take drugs and chop his dick off though when he's fucking 14.
Yeah. Right? Just tell him that you love him. And that's it. Excuse me. Tell him that you love Zim. You know.
Love Zim.
Tell him that you love Zim. So I have this theory, man. I got this.
He's not fucking horses.
Like, he's not fucking horses. He's not fucking horses or eating his own shit. Like the poop lady. But I think sometimes a lot of this is just people are so dumb. Like these people think that this is a cool thing. Like I am so politically correct. I'm more politically correct than you, Bobby, that not only do I tolerate this type of stuff, but I will make my own seed participate into this stuff 100% because I am more progressive than you.
No.
And I think that's the logic behind it because that's really the only way that this makes sense to me. This is the only way that I can reason people think this is okay.
Look how progressive we are as parents. Like he's dressed up like a chick. Isn't that cool? I got to think a lot of it. I don't think that the parents, whoever they are, I don't know what they are. If they're, a heterosexual couple.
This is just for the record. They are not my primos. And
they're not.
You know what I mean? They look
just
a
for
little
the record.
Bit. They look like year people. You're like 0 for 5 today, dude. That's all
yeah. Yeah, tough night for the home team, but we got a big back end of the lineup. We got a lot of firepower. We can come back. It's not over yet. There's still outs on the field, but I don't know. I mean, a lot of it. What I would say is, no matter who the parents are, what they look like, I don't think that they're two people that hate it when people pay attention to them. Right? They are getting a lot of attention because their kid is getting a lot of attention. So,
yep.
There are probably people that enjoy that attention. I would have to assume.
It's a shame. It's a shame that they're putting their kid through this shit. You know what I mean? It really is.
It really is. It's a shame this podcast come to an end, but here's the deal, everybody. The poo lady, she's going to be with us next week. We're going to go over that. I'm excited. Poker Guy.
I'm excited. Yeah, I'm more horrified right now because I'm watching the drag kid in the background, and
oh goodness,
it's rough.
It's all right.
It's rough.
It's all right. Well, hey everybody, we'll be back here. We'll go over some more videos next week. We'll have a little bit more fun. You guys have a great rest of the week, and we'll see you back here for another edition of us watching poop videos.
Watching YouTube videos and talking shit
on the internet
about things. That was a good one. Even though it's stupid, it's still funny.